Hello Nancy Drew fans, welcome back to another playthrough video. Today I'm going to be playing The Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. This game was released in 2005 and this is one of my favorite games. It's also one of the games that I feel is the most underrated. It's just not one that we see talked about quite as much as some other games like Treasure in the Royal Tower, Secret of Shadow Ranch, Deadly Device. There are a lot of games that you hear a lot about and a lot of games you hear a lot about in a positive sense, a fair few consistent ones in a negative sense. This is one I just don't hear a lot about, and I don't have anything negative about this game to say. I think it's a great game. So I just wanted to point that out, because why not? I really look forward to playing this game again, so you know what, let's jump on in.
Welcome to my latest case, Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorial.
No tutorial needed. Let's go to Senior Detective.
Dear Hannah, here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Lori Gerard. That's the young woman who invited everyone. Actually, she didn't really invite me. She invited Frank and Joe Hardy, and they invited me. And I've always wanted to join forces with the Hardy Boys. I just hope this doesn't turn out to be another one of Lori's silly attempts to grab publicity. Some people can be a little too rich and a little too famous for their own good. Wish me luck. Love, Nancy.
Well, people, now that our little orientation tour is over, let's get started. Okay, I, again, am Lori Gerard, and the first thing I want to do is thank you all for coming. John Gray. I am so thrilled that you're taking time out from that TV show of yours to do some ghost hunting here with us. I mean, Ghost Chasers is like the best cable show ever. And Charlena Purcell. I cannot tell you how much I adore those romance novels you write. Your characters just seem so real. And all that stuff you know about the Old West, you are just awesome. And Tino Balducci. Only the most famous police detective in the country. And then there's Frank and Joe Hardy. They're amateur detectives. My dad and their dad are old friends. And you must be the other amateur detective, their friend? Natalie?
Nancy Drew?
Whatever. All right, I'll bet you're wondering where we're going. Well, we're going to Copper Gorge, Colorado. Why? To solve the mystery of what happened to Jake Hurley, the man who originally owned this train. Because see, one day in 1903, this train was found in a place called Blue Moon Canyon, which was out in the middle of the Nevada desert. Only the engineer was on board, and he was dead. As for Jake Hurley, he had disappeared from the face of the earth. Oh, and two more things. Before he disappeared, Jake was rumored to have found the richest gold mine in the world. And the train he owned, this train, his wife Camille died on it while they were going to the gold fields. It was rumored to be haunted.
She's gone.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
Hey, what's going on?
People should never go tampering with things they don't understand.
Oh, brother.
It's okay. Everybody just stay calm. No need to panic. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Well, Nancy, you're up on all that social etiquette stuff. What are you supposed to do when your hostess vanishes into thin air?
If I don't seem concerned, it's because I'm not. Lori Gerard is a young woman whose only goal in life is to be famous. She craves attention and habitually uses her father's considerable wealth to get it.
Alright, I'm not going to continue with the dialogue just yet. It's time to chat. So that is quite the introduction we have to this game. And I really like this setup, the format of having Lori introduce everyone and share the reason for why they're present on the train. It's to solve this mystery. It is a great way for us as players to get the backstory of what the intention of the game is. And I think it's just done really well. And then, of course, we had to have Lori up and having her speech so that she can disappear. Pardon me, sorry about that. But I do really appreciate that this is a little different as far as a start of a game from the previous, dozen games. So, yeah, I really like the way this game starts off. So with that, let's start chatting with Charlena Purcell.
So you think her disappearing like that is just some kind of publicity stunt?
I just think she couldn't resist showing off in front of all of us minor celebrities. What was your name again?
Nancy Drew. You and I have actually met. Sort of. I called you not too long ago when I was at Shadow Ranch. You gave me some information about Dirk Valentine.
Ah, Nancy Drew.
You remember me?
No.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley?
Psst, Nancy! Come here.
Excuse me for a second.
I should say, actually, there is one part of this game that I don't like, and it is the presence of Charlena Purcell. So if you've played or watched playthroughs of The Secret of Shadow Ranch, Charlena Purcell is a phone contact, and Nancy just made reference to that. It really bothered me that they brought her into this game because I couldn't take her seriously as a suspect, because I didn't think she could be a suspect, because she is previously known to Nancy, and I felt like she was created specifically for this game, just to add in that tie from our previous Western story. So that's the one thing I didn't like about this game, and it still bugs me a little bit. I mean, I think she's suited for the game. I think she works well, but because she'd previously been a phone contact in The Secret of Shadow Ranch, it was just, and still is, too hard for me to take her seriously as a suspect.
Is this Jake and his wife?
Yes. From what I've read, Camille loved to sing and dance, even in death, apparently. Jake reportedly told people that after she died, he would sometimes see strange glowing lights outside the windows at night, bobbing gracefully alongside the train as if dancing with it. He said he found the sight very comforting. I suspect normal people would have found it terrifying.
All right, hello, Hardy Boys.
Hey, Nance.
Where have you two been?
I followed Tino Balducci.
And I went after John Gray. He went straight to the room in the car that used to be Camille's and didn't come out again. I could hear all these weird noises coming from inside.
Did you talk to him?
I was just about to go in, but the next thing I know, Joe's got my arm in a vice grip and is dragging me back here, babbling about how Balducci's our guy.
He found something on the floor right where Laurie was standing when the train went dark. I saw him pick it up and put it in his pocket. Then he left.
Did you see what it was?
When I tried to talk to him, he just kind of brushed me aside and said something snotty like, "I'm on the job here, Junior, so just go back to the playground and stay out of the way." In case you two hadn't noticed, we're not getting a lot of respect around here. Can't we at least tell Balducci that we do stuff for ATAC?
You know the rules.
ATAC?
American Teens Against Crime. We do a lot of undercover work for them.
Wonder Cop's probably never even been undercover.
Joe, let it go. What'd Charlena have to say?
She thinks Laurie is faking this whole disappearance thing.
She's not the only one.
How can you say that? You heard Laurie scream.
Anybody can scream, Joe. Especially girls whose fathers have given them acting lessons along with everything else they've ever wanted.
What about you, Nancy? What do you think?
I don't know if I ever sided with Joe before, or if I always agreed with Frank. Like when I first played the game. Don't remember. But I always say Joe, or Frank now.
I kind of agree with Frank.
You've got to be kidding.
Do you think maybe one of Laurie's other guests is in on her disappearance?
It's certainly possible.
From the way she talked, it didn't sound like she knew any of them.
Maybe that's what she wanted us to think.
Or maybe that's what one of them wanted her to think.
Well, whether Laurie disappeared by force or by choice, what we've got to do now is find her.
Absolutely.
Has anyone talked to the engineer?
Not that I know of.
Then I'm going to head up front and tell him what's happened. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Good idea. In the meantime, we'll take another look around in here.
Great. Catch you later.
And there is our first introduction to the Hardy Boys as physical characters in a game. They've previously been phone contacts, but this is the first time that they're actually included as characters Nancy can interact with. And we see, they've got physical appearances, they can move and do their own investigating, which is really cool. I think, if I remember correctly, and just knowing myself, I probably wasn't very keen on the idea of them being in the game. I always preferred just having Nancy. Like, I never wanted to see Beth and George. I always thought it was weird when Frank and Joe were added as phone contacts, because I always thought those are separate books, and that would have been before I'd been introduced to the mystery stories, or pardon me, the super mystery stories, which are books with a combination of Nancy and possibly Bess and or George, as well as the Hardys. So for me, the worlds had never collided before, so that was really strange until I started reading the super mysteries. And even still, it sometimes seems a little weird because they are from two different worlds in a way. These guys are from Bayport, Nancy's from River Heights. But with all that said, I do actually like them in the game, and maybe I've come to like them, and maybe I like them right off the bat, I don't remember, but I do enjoy their inclusion in the game, and I really like their depictions. I have this thing about Frank's vest, I just like the detail that that's what he's wearing. They're not both wearing jackets. I like these small details, and it's very suitable for where they're going and sort of the time of year. And Laurie also wears a vest. I just really like that element. I'm not going to snoop in here. I'm going to call our conductor.
Engineer, what do you want?
Hello, I'm one of the
Our
passengers, and I just thought you should know that Laurie Gerard has disappeared.
So?
I would think you'd be a little bit more concerned about that.
Did you know she was going to disappear?
Hey, all I know is I take orders from Miss Gerard, okay? Right now my orders are to get this train to Copper Gorge non-stop. And until Miss Gerard tells me otherwise, that's what I'm gonna do.
But Laurie may not even be on the train anymore.
Look, Miss Gerard may not be a rocket scientist or anything, but even she knows better than to jump off a moving train.
But-
Now, if you'll excuse me, I got me a train to run.
Well, alright then. I tried.
Looks like some sort of steam valve.
Warning, do not open unless all pipes are connected. That is very important.
A square and a duck.
Seems rather peculiar.
It looks like this thing opens up. But how?
Alright.
What have you got?
Oh, nothing apparently.
See you later.
You know where to find us.
Pretty. Looks like some kind of gemstone.
Flippy fins. These are fresh from the hand from the deep. From a hand from the deep. That's an important clue. It's a good thing no one tossed all the stuff that was in this train.
It looks like there's something behind this painting, but I can't seem to move it.
That's alright, we'll get there.
Sadie Crawford.
2 left feet. Apparently, I don't know where you do this. There's a way to find out how Laurie disappeared from the room. Yeah, we'll get there. Maybe.
Yes?
What are you working on?
I'm writing my next book. I'm on a deadline, so until I write those 2 most wonderful of all 3-letter words, the end, everywhere I go, my laptop goes, and every chance I get, I write.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley? You know, the man who originally owned this train?
Wealthy, imaginative, adventurous, stubborn, egocentric, and most importantly, he was smitten at the age of 35 by a young French woman named Camille Voulet, who died about a year after they were married.
That's so sad.
Where was he from?
East Coast, Philadelphia, I think. His parents were British aristocrats. Sometime in the 1870s, he decided to seek his fortune out west, so he had this train custom built so that he, and some years later his wife, could traverse the mountains and plains in relative comfort.
I am so happy to see this. So 1870s with an S. So many people would have added an apostrophe, which is incorrect. I just have to point out that this is done correctly, and thank God, because it drives me nuts when there are unnecessary apostrophes. So your English lesson for today, folks, remember, when you're talking about things in plural sense, you just add an S. There's no apostrophe needed. Like this. This is correct. Moving on.
So he went west and became a miner?
All anyone knows for sure is that years after Camille's death, he showed up in Denver with a pouch full of gold nuggets and semi-precious stones, which he used to purchase mining supplies. He refused to say how he'd come by them, which of course led to speculation that he had found a fantastically rich vein somewhere. Although to this day, its existence remains unsubstantiated, and its location quite unknown.
So there's another little mystery.
Why do you think Lori invited you on this trip?
No doubt because I'm such an authority on life in the Old West, and because I'm so good at using old information to unearth new information. My knack for research is, well, it's a gift.
Well, I'll let you go.
My publisher thanks you.
Alright, so there's Charlene, who we've spoken to previously on the telephone. That's the first time meeting her in person.
Another gemstone.
Which way? Let's not pull the emergency brake. Alright, might as well do this puzzle. You go here. Where do you go? Right here. You might go right there. Oops. Clicked it too many times. Can't tell with my cursor thing, but it's great. No. Oh no, you go at the bottom. There we go.
Left pickaxe and lamp with buhl for safekeeping. To open what's closed, lead is the key. Or is it lead is the key?
Tricky, tricky.
This must have been the sleeping car.
Probably still is the sleeping car. A Tale of Two Dolls. Ill-tempered Edna could not get her way. She couldn't get Alice to come out and play. I can't, I'm too tired, is what Alice said. I just want to go straight back to bed. Edna angrily tried to make herself heard, but all that came out was one two-part word. Why, I'm not your mother, yawning Alice replied, till Edna the Terrible finally gave up and cried. Interesting little poem.
I need 4 numbers to unlock this, and there's, what, 10,000 possible combinations? Guessing could take me a while.
So we will not be guessing, we will eventually get the answer. It's closer to the end of the game. That would be terrifying, by the way. Crossing over between the two train cars while it's moving, I'd be terrified that I would fall off it. Which kind of happens in the book. I started reading the book that this is based on this morning.
Hey, come on over here.
Okay.
Hi, you're that Nancy person.
Hey.
How you doing? John Gray.
You know my name.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen your TV show.
Then I don't have to explain what I'm doing.
Oh, heck no. Why, you're measuring the who's-whatsism with your trusty gizmometrometer thing.
Right now I'm taking time-lapse electromagnetic readings and recording background noise. This was Camille's private car. If she had something to do with Lori's disappearance, analyzing these readings may give me a clue as to Lori's whereabouts.
Interesting theory. With no scientific basis.
Are you saying that Camille's ghost kidnapped Lori?
What to most people are ghosts are actually temporary distortions in local electromagnetic fields caused by the presence of residual psychic energy generated by the person or persons who frequented that particular locale. That's my working theory, at least.
I appreciate that he says that it's a theory and he's not stating it as fact.
That's a little hard to swallow.
It's all very scientific.
No, it's not.
But the fact is, Lori's missing, and I, for one, am doing everything in my power to find her. The vibes I'm getting make me think she could be in serious trouble.
I am resisting having a little rant about what is scientific and what is not.
Charlene Purcell thinks Lori is just playing some kind of joke on us.
Charlene Purcell writes romance novels. End of comment.
What do you think of Tino Balducci?
I kind of feel sorry for the guy. After catching those bank robbers, he can't just be a good cop anymore. He's got to be a great cop. Tough to perform under that kind of pressure.
It's particularly difficult if you're soaking up that limelight and you're not being modest about it. Yeah, he's really going to have to live up to the fame he has. He can't, like John's just said, he can't be just a good cop. He's going to be a great cop. If he had been modest and didn't, share or get involved with publicity, it'd be easier just to be his regular self and continue with his job like it was any other day, and not having a history of doing a really great job of catching bank robbers. So how you respond to things can really impact, I guess, what you're expecting of yourself to do and to be. Just things to bear in mind.
Is Lori a friend of yours?
First time I met her was when I boarded this train with all the rest of you. I knew her by reputation, of course, like everyone else who reads the tabloids. It doesn't appear that anyone aboard this train is her friend.
Maybe she planned it that way.
You mean so we'd concentrate all our efforts on finding Jake Hurley? Possible, although she really doesn't strike me as being the planning type.
Ouch.
I'll let you get back to work.
Come back anytime.
Alright, there's a fair bit to see in this room.
Sickly Sarah caught a germ so new, it made one of her pretty green eyes turn blue.
Sickly Sarah. It's two different colored eyes.
The Little Book of Samplers.
And this will become fairly important later on. I'm not going to worry about it just now. Oh, where's my arrow? I guess that's the way I'm going. Ah! Okay.
This looks like some sort of game.
Let's see, can I do this? Sometimes my mouse doesn't work. Let's see. So, what, Captain Races? Captain Races. I feel like I played this in band when I was a kid.
I did it! Wonder what's in here.
Yes, Camptown Races. And some letters that are quite clearly specified, or notes rather, that are quite clearly specified with their letter notation.
Teddy Eberhardt.
Thank you for giving the doll we call Teddy Eberhardt a home. I guess, so this one doesn't give us a clue to descriptors of the doll, but it gives us the name of one of the male dolls. I'm not going to play the piano because I know John will not appreciate that. Play this game if he wants to know.
Looks like Camille was teaching herself how to play the piano.
So this is, again, one of those great things when Her Interactive uses music as part of a puzzle, which they do fairly frequently. They give the player an opportunity to learn the notes, because not everyone is musical. Not everyone has taken lessons in playing a musical instrument, so this is their way of ensuring that the player will be able to play the piano later on.
Thomasina O'Neill. It's locked.
Yep.
Looks like some kind of sewing sampler. I wonder if there's a relationship between those symbols and those numbers.
Oh, there are. Awful Ursula. They've got our owl and cherry. So owl is 7, cherries are 10. I don't think I have notes with me. I have a pencil. I have lots of scrap paper. Alright. So, let's see. We have, what did I say? Owl is 7. Cherries, 10. Okie dokie. Continue on.
I wonder what's under here, and what the deal is with those weird-looking bolts. Looks like I need a special tool.
Indeed. Alright. Oh.
Hello?
Nancy, hi, it's me.
Hi, Bess.
And me.
Hey, George, what's up?
What's up? You're the one who's on the train with a bunch of famous people. You tell us. This is torture, Nancy. I'm dying of curiosity here. Bess, just calm down. Oh, like you're not just as curious as I am. She's the one who insisted we call you Nancy. Only because you're driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be helping her paint her room, but every other brushstroke, she's like, where do you think she is now? How do you think the Hardy Boys are doing? Why do you think she hasn't called? What do you think Laurie Gerard is wearing?
Oh, George, that is so not true. I could care less what Laurie Gerard is wearing.
So come on, Nancy. You're on a train full of famous people bound for who knows where. So dish already, would ya? Bess, calm down. Look what you did. You got paint in my hair.
I'm sorry. You know, actually, that looks kind of cool.
Nice try, Bess.
No, really.
You're just saying that because you're afraid I'll bail and you'll wind up having to paint this dump all by yourself.
George, I kid you not. You should seriously think about doing some major highlights in that color.
What color is it?
Adobe beige.
Nice try, Bess.
What's going on, Nan?
I really like that dialogue. It's one of my favorite pieces of dialogue between Bess and George, or really any phone conversation. And it takes up a bit of time. I mean, it's fairly wordy, but I don't get bored by it like I might in other instances. Like in the final scene, there's a lot where we don't participate. There's a lot of chatting on the phone. But in this case, I do really like the dialogue. It feels very authentic, relatable, and makes me chuckle. I really appreciate that little bit of phone conversation we get to witness over here, sort of be a part of.
Our hostess has disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
I mean, the train went into a tunnel, everything went dark, and when the train came out of the tunnel, no Laurie. She just disappeared.
Publicity stunt.
My thoughts exactly.
Remember the time she was allegedly kidnapped from her Vegas hotel room?
Yeah, the guy across the hall just happened to have a camera and got it all on tape.
It made the evening news in practically every city in the country. And then there was her daring escape the next morning.
Only it turns out she faked the whole thing.
Of course, she claims her ex-boyfriend faked it to get back at her. She thought she was really being kidnapped.
Like anybody believes that.
Sounds to me like somebody has been spending a lot of time reading the tabloids.
George has.
Very funny. So what else is going on?
And I just want to point this out, what they were talking about, like faking a kidnapping, it's maybe not necessarily always a kidnapping, but these things actually happen where people will fake these incidences that happen to them, and it winds up, being in the news. It's a big deal, and they usually get caught out. Yeah, that's an actual thing that happens in society, which is really disappointing.
Before she disappeared, Laurie told us that the purpose of this train trip is to find out what happened to Jake Hurley, the train's original owner.
Was he murdered or something?
No one knows. He was married to a woman named Camille, but she died, and he eventually vanished while mining for gold. His train was found abandoned in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada, with no one on board but his dead engineer.
Whoa, spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Have any theories?
Not yet, but the train is also rumored to be haunted by his dead wife.
So first Hurley's wife dies, then Hurley vanishes, then the engineer dies, then Laurie vanishes. A pattern, maybe?
Bess, do us all a favor and leave the detective work to Nancy, okay?
Which is funny because, so like I mentioned, I already started reading Mystery Train, which is the book this game is based on. Bess is actually the one with Nancy on this adventure, along with the Hardy Boys. George isn't there, and Bess is really keen to help solve this mystery. I just think that's kind of ironic.
Has either of you been to Copper Gorge, Colorado?
Never heard of the place. Why?
Well, that's where the train I'm on is headed. Apparently Jake Hurley buried his wife Camille there after she died on the train.
She died on the train? Ew, creepy.
Yeah, that'd be a little unsettling.
Jake used to see strange lights at night bobbing alongside the train and thought it was Camille dancing.
Super creepy. Yeah, I just got goosebumps. Which is hard when you're practically covered in paint.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. Well, George, back to work.
Alright, let's continue exploring the train. Let's not fall off. Just heebie-jeebies.
Hey, Nancy, right?
He also knows my name. Yay!
You've got a better memory than our hostess.
Who doesn't? Amateur detective, huh? Ever thought about becoming a real detective? Like me?
I don't know. Do you like what you do?
I love it. You, heard about those bank robberies I solved, right?
Oh boy.
Tell me about them.
Baffling case. Two-man team at 17 banks in 3 states in 5 days. FBI had no idea who the perps were. But after forcing their vehicle to a stop, confronting them, despite the fact that they were armed and giving chase, I single-handedly made the collar.
And neither of Nancy's choices are particularly nice, which is a little unfortunate.
I heard they stopped because you accidentally rear-ended them.
You heard wrong. You see, Nancy, when somebody does something really remarkable in this country, the first thing everybody else does is try to tear them down. Reporters, late-night comedians, even some of my fellow officers. All have been spreading vicious lies about me. Why? Because they've never done anything remarkable in their sorry little lives, and they're jealous. Anyway, you should look around in here. Lots of interesting stuff. This was Jake's private car, you know.
Indeed.
I understand that you found something on the floor in the dining car.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an old coin, but it turned out to be some kind of slug.
Do you think it had anything to do with Lori's disappearance?
Nah, probably been lying there for 100 years. May have served a purpose back then, but now, worthless.
May I see it?
Sure, in fact, here, keep it. Wear it around your neck or something. That way, when people ask you where you got it, you can tell them Tino Balducci gave it to you. The Tino Balducci.
So generous.
Oh, thank you.
What else can I do for you?
So, what do you think happened to Lori?
Well, she could have been kidnapped. She could have been tossed off the train. She could be hiding from us. But I obviously won't know which until I've gathered all the facts.
So, you're gathering facts?
Of course. It may not look it because that's my style. I'm a low-key kind of guy. But hey, don't worry. I'll know the facts when I know the facts. The truth can't be rushed, you know.
He's low-key, but he wants to share his story about catching those bank robbers. Doesn't quite make sense in my brain.
Have you had a chance to talk to Charlena Purcell?
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
What about John Gray?
The ghost guy? Total quack. Only reason I talked to him would be to arrest him for fraud.
Fair point.
Thanks for your help.
Not a problem.
All right, let's explore this car.
Wonder what Jake used this for.
I can't actually take it yet. I will need to.
Another gemstone.
If you need to know about chemical symbols or atomic symbols, chemistry stuff, here we go. And gemstones. That's my birthstone. I wish that was my birthstone. Only because I prefer blue over red. Red is one of my least favorite colors.
Looks like an old-fashioned cigar box. Wonder why it's locked.
AG. So if you needed to know what that is, that's silver? Yeah, because gold is AU. I always get those two mixed up. There's AG, silver, AU, gold.
JH. For Jake Hurley, obviously. Must be Jake's insignia.
Can't do this yet either.
Another gemstone.
Indeed. Alright. So, as usual, I have this recording bar here that you guys can't see. It's in my way. But yes, I can turn the pipes. That was my biggest concern. Was would I be able to actually click on the pipes? You need to go that way, which means you should be that way. That makes more sense, so I didn't need to turn that earlier. Dum 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 dum.
There,
we go.
all done.
Yes. Excellent. First set of pipes, and the easiest set at that. We're done.
Eliza Sandberger.
Received of Jake Hurley for the price of $3.73, one Kohlmeister doll with decorative red ribbon on the 16th day of June, 1880. So there we've got a bit of a description of who Eliza Sandberger is, that doll. She's a red ribbon.
An old scale. Strange. It seems to be built into the wall.
Okay, last time I played this game, everything really slowed down.
Those symbols look like the ones I saw in that sampler.
Okay, well, the owl first. Oh, yes, right there. Which is 7, so it's lit up, and then 10 for cherries. 3 and 7 will equal 10.
That square and that duck look very familiar.
Those will be next. Find Lori pretty soon. Just gonna snoop. I really like all the details that are put into the different train cars. Another slug. I also love when there are drawers and you can look through all of them.
Silver. What do all those colors have to do with silver?
Alright, AG. We have orange, blue, green, red, purple, yellow. Awesome. Whenever Nancy reads this, I always think of the trailer for this game because that's one of the lines that's included. Under here we have...
Looks like to make this thing, whatever it is, I'm going to need a spyglass, a pickaxe, and a lamp. Citrine, amethyst, zircon... Those are all gemstones, I think.
Yes, you just looked at them in a book, Nancy. And then the final drawer should have more information about one of the dolls. Could be so upset about blah 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 thing that befell a doll. I accidentally knocked the one Camille calls Naughty Tina off the shelf and literally, I'm afraid, fractured its tiny skull. So, Naughty Tina has a fractured skull. Despite my apologies? Despite my heartfelt apologies, Camille burst into tears at the sight of the crack which now traverses Naughty Tina's face. Tears which continued unabated for hours. I told her I'd order her another as soon as we reached Copper Gorge. There we go. Let's give this a spin. So cool. I really like this. Again, when this game came out, similarly with Secret of the Old Clock, it felt like the game's really advanced in terms of these little, I don't know any other way to put it, but these little scenes, these little, just having things move quite smoothly, like it just seems so advanced. It was really cool.
If I had a spyglass, I'd put it right here. Jake said a lamp goes here.
Should be able to get the carbide now that I think of it.
According to that diagram I found, those 6 gemstones are supposed to go in these 6 holders. But I have no idea which one goes where.
Don't worry, Nancy. You'll get there.
Wonder what's supposed to go here. Looks like I need to enter 8 letters into this thing. The question is, which 8 letters?
Nancy's very clear about talking about each of the puzzles and asking about them. I just noticed that. It was locked, but I got stuck on this the first time I played this game because I didn't realize that the sequence changed and it was just a matter of looking for the one that's stuck. Like, I was looking for ages to find like a note or something that indicated the order. Am I going to be able to remember the order? Okay, last one. Nope. Oh, so close. Oh, shoot. There we go. And first mystery is solved.
Lori?
Oh my gosh, I never thought you'd be the one to find me. No offense, Nadine?
Nancy. Nancy Drew.
Well, as you can see, I wasn't really spirited away by ghosts or anything. That bookshelf in the dining car, you step on this thing in the floor in there, and it slides open. I practiced disappearing for weeks.
Apparently you can find this. I don't think I've ever found it. So if I remember to, I'm going to try and look for it. So, the bookshelf in the dining car. There's a thing on the floor. Okay.
So it was just all for show?
Well, not entirely. See, here's the deal. My dad wound up with this train when he bought out Noram Shipping. They'd been storing it in this old warehouse outside St. Louis for so long that everybody had just forgotten about it. Anyway, after like mass begging on my part, Dad had the train restored to working condition and got me an engineer and track permits and all that other stuff until finally, here we are, on our way to find out what happened to Jake Hurley.
I think you were going to explain why you kidnapped yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, see, I was one of the first people in like 100 years to set foot on this train, okay? Everything was just the way it was when Jake disappeared. Except, I also found this. It's a letter that Jake wrote in 1901 to his niece back east. He was real paranoid about claim jumpers, which is why he never told anyone where his mine was. But he was also afraid something would happen to him and no one would ever know where it was. So he wrote this letter to his only living relative, Ruth Kensington. Here, take it.
You want me to have it? Why?
Because you found me. See, in that letter, Jake tells Ruth that everything she needs to figure out where his mine is on this train. He also warns her that his wife's spirit is on the train too, which kind of creeps me out. But the thing is, to find Jake's lost mine, we need the train.
How do you know this Ruth person didn't find the mine decades ago?
Mostly because I found that letter in the wastebasket. It was like she'd gotten so ticked off, trying to follow her nutty uncle's clues, that she finally said to heck with the whole thing.
It's never occurred to me. She uses the word wastebasket. I have a hard time picturing her using that language. I would have expected her to say garbage or garbage can. I like the use of the word wastebasket, though. I mean, it just sounds a bit more refined.
So you want me to try to figure out where the mine is?
Uh-huh. As for the other people on board, if you want to show them that letter, go ahead. It's totally up to you. We're going to Copper Gorge because that's where Jake buried Camille, so I figured his mine might be somewhere around there too. But if you think we need to go somewhere else, you just let me know and I'll have the engineer take us there.
How come you didn't try to find the mine yourself?
Maybe I did. Or maybe I just thought letting other people try to find it would be a good excuse to throw a party. I like parties.
How well do you know your guests?
Well, I don't know you or those Harvey guys at all.
Hardy. Frank and Joe Hardy.
Whatever. I didn't know John Gray before this either, but I love his show. And I figured he'd jump at the chance to investigate an honest-to-goodness haunted train. And now that someone has finally found me, I can finally go meet him for real.
What about Tino Balducci?
I met Tino right after he got famous for solving those robberies. Inviting him here for this was a no-brainer. I mean, what an awesome detective. And those piercing eyes of his, you just know his mind's in there going 90 miles an hour.
How well do you know Charlena Purcell?
I just know her from her books, which are so good. In fact, I just started reading her latest one, The Moon Tells No Lies.
Moon again.
See, what I'd really like to do is write romance novels. Everybody who knows me says I'd be really good at it. In fact, a while back, I sent Charlena some ideas, you know, just to see what she thought.
And?
She hated them.
Guess I better get to work.
Keep me posted.
And there's Lori. So we've finally met her properly, and she's interesting. That's just me being polite about it.
Locked, naturally. Wonder how you open it. Wonder how you're supposed to get this open.
This is instead of Nancy saying,
Looks
it's
like
locked.
a dance floor, maybe?
I know I'm going to need to do this, so I will do it now. It's funny, I can take a picture of just these, just the soles, or you can take a picture of the actual whole shoes and get a better impression. You'll still get the information you need. Can I click this? I think I did. I'll give it a try. Been sent. Fantastic. Alright, a little bit more. Oh, right, I was gonna go through the letter. Duh.
The 3rd of November, 1901, from somewhere in Colorado. Dear Ruth, I know that we've never met, but now that your father, my estranged brother, is gone, you are my only living relative. I am writing to you to tell you about my mind before I, too, depart this earth, and its location is lost forever. I cannot tell you outright where it is, lest this epistle fall into the wrong hands, but with the information which follows, and with my train, which shall be yours upon my death, I promise that you'll be able to find it. First, you will need a map. To obtain it, know that my travels have taken me all over this great country, to towns which can be difficult to find, to Calico, Silverado, and Central City, to Dodge City, Virginia City, and Tombstone. To locate the mine on the map, you'll need my projector. When it comes to placing the stones, you'll need to ask someone who holds a warm place in my heart. I have stored his name accordingly, but to retrieve his name, you'll have to give the dolls an order. This will require looking inside Camille's dancing shoes for the name of their maker, and wearing the shoes as you perform her favorite step on the dance floor. As for my beloved Camille, she has 4 words for you, words which, when translated into numbers and used in combination, will help power my projector. But alas, she's taken them with her to her grave. So go to Copper Gorge, Colorado, and pay your respects, and let some of her goodness rub off on you. I promised Camille that this train would always be her home. In return, she promised to never leave, and indeed she never has. People say I'm crazy, but I've seen her, and heard her, and feel her presence on the train even today, 20 years after her untimely death. So above all else, my dear niece, let nothing happen to my train. It holds wonderful things. Kindest regards, Jake Hurley.
I really like this letter. There's something about it. It's the way it's written, but it's also sort of heartwarming and sad, but I really like the way it's written. The clues, I think, are really well done, and again, it's this piece of history to help solve the mystery, and I always enjoy those things. I think they're great additions to the games. Okay, so with that, we can actually do some of the puzzles now. So this one, these are the cities that are mentioned in Jake's letter to Ruth. So I'm going to start by finding Calico. So Silverado, yes, that is next. Next we need Central City. Central City. There we go. Central City. And then Dodge City. One more city, Virginia City. And then after this, I need Tombstone. And then we need to know our remaining letters.
Guess I'm done. Strange. All that's left is a jumble of letters.
Oh, but they actually make perfect sense when you know where they need to go. Let's go over here as well.
I bet I know what this is for.
Yes, she didn't know about the letters, but she knows what this is for. And I should call Bess and George. I'm actually going to wait till I'm in here.
That must be the projector Jake mentioned in his letter to Ruth.
Yes, I call from in here because it feels rude to call from the car with Lori.
Hi, Bess.
Hey, what's going on?
Lori gave me a letter that Jake Hurley wrote to his niece, telling her how to find his gold mine.
If Lori knows where the mine is, why doesn't she just make a beeline for it?
Because apparently Jake was too paranoid to tell his niece outright where it was. So he filled the letter with all these weird, obscure clues. I don't think Lori could make heads or tails of them. I know I barely can.
Sounds like when he lost his wife, Jake may have lost a few marbles as well.
It's not a bad line.
The name of the company that made Jake's wife's dancing shoes is too faded to read. But to find Jake's mine, I need to know what it is.
This is why I'm calling
Hey, I
them.
know what you can do. Take a picture of them with your cell phone, then send it to us, and we'll check them out for you.
But I thought you guys had to paint Bess's room.
Boring. Besides, we're going to have to take a break soon because we're almost out of paint. Probably because Bess has gotten more on me than she has on the walls. Anyway, send us a picture of the shoes via cell phone as soon as you can.
Actually, I already sent you a picture of the shoes.
Well then, hey, we're on it.
Ah, you guys are the greatest.
I know. Need anything else?
It's funny today to hear them specify send it via cell phone. Like that's nowadays that's just a given. You don't have to specify that. Yeah. Back when this game was made, camera cell phones were kind of new and fancy.
I get the definite feeling Lori Gerard has a thing for Tino Balducci.
Oh
I saw
yeah.
him on TV once. He is very cute.
Lori thinks he's the world's greatest detective.
And you don't?
I think he thinks he is.
I think the only reason he's famous is because he looks good on camera. Well, I think you two are being way too hard on him. Just because he's good looking doesn't mean he can't also be smart.
That's true.
In fact, maybe Balducci tries to look incompetent on purpose. You know, to give the bad guys a false sense of security so it's easier to catch them. Ever think of that? No, Bess? I never did. Well, there you go.
If you know the story of the Scarlet Pimpernel, that's what it makes me think of. So Percival Blakeney acting the fool, but really being this very clever gentleman helping to free people and escape the guillotine. It's a great story. Worth reading, or at least, if this is a little tangent, but if you watch the version, I don't know what year it came out, but with Anthony Andrews, Jane Seymour, and Sir Ian McKellen, it's a fantastic film. And yeah, that's part of the storyline, is you've got a fool who's really brilliant. Anyhow, moving on.
Catch you later.
Let us know what happens.
Okay. I was thinking, I meant to do something here. Got distracted by the phone call. Let's backtrack. Sorry about that. Alright, the letters from that last puzzle go here. N, V, R, oops, went too far, and then Z, T, B, A, A. Z, T, B, A, and another A. So cool. Just love that whole little scene.
Jake's mine must be somewhere on this map, but where?
We'll get there. Don't worry, Nats. We're on our way. Okay. And now I want to deal with silver. Over here. Alright. So I need orange. Blue. Green. It's probably red next. Yeah, because they're always right across from each other. They come in pairs that way. Purple and yellow right across. There we go.
Wilson Carbide and Acetylene Works.
Do I want to read the letter out loud? I don't think so.
Always your friend, Thomas Wilson. Looks like a pattern for some kind of dance step. Maybe I'd better keep this.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna need to draw this. I should do that now. Bear with me, folks. Oh, that is not a straight line I just drew. Oh. Really only needed actually, no, I don't need to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll work. Okay, now just to put in the instructions. That's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, where's 5? It's off to the side. 6 is down 2. 7 down to the side. 8 is down 1. 9 is the same foot. I forgot to draw those. Good job, me. 9, and then 10. Hopefully I can make sense of that when I need it. Okay, can I get the carbide while he's here? Yes, I can.
That could be one of the gems I need. Maybe Tina will let me take a closer look.
Well, it's the little lady detective. What do you need?
I found Lori. She was hiding in the caboose.
Oh, yeah?
It turns out that slug wasn't so worthless after all.
That slug? I mean, I knew that slug was a clue.
Liar.
That's why I gave it to you. I mean, I could have found Lori no sweat, but I thought, hey, why not give somebody else a shot? And you came through. Nice job.
Thank you.
But look, from now on, if you come across anything that may have something to do with Jake Hurley and his mind, well, let me know, okay? Just so I can, give you advice, help you sort things out. After all, the opportunity to work side by side with a world-famous police detective doesn't come along every day, you know.
Yeah, and that's okay.
How did you and Lori meet?
We met at a party in New York. Nice girl. Not a lot upstairs, but nice girl.
He sounded there with his hesitation. It really reminded me of Harlan Bishop. I don't know if it's the same actor. I never thought of that before, but there was just something in the way he said that that made me think of that character. Anyhow.
Did you two go out?
Nope, no, never went out. No.
I don't know if I've ever picked that option before. I liked his not so believable response.
What do you think happened to Jake Hurley?
He probably died trying to work that mine of his all by himself. But I'll let you in on a secret. I'm onto something that could crack this case wide open.
What did you find?
Sorry, can't go into detail. Let's just say that thanks to yours truly, what happened to Jake Hurley won't be a mystery much longer.
So you say. I don't know that I believe you.
Do you think I could take a closer look at that cougar statue?
What, that cigar clipper? Go ahead, take a look.
I'll bet I need this stone to build that thing in the diagram I found. But if I remove it now, Tina will know I'm onto something. Interesting. I just wanted to get a good look at it, that's all.
What else can I do for you?
It's been great talking to you.
Don't mention it.
Alright, so I can at least get this one. There we go. Let's deal
That
with
tool I
this.
saw in the caboose. I bet that's what you use to unscrew these bolts.
But of course. Oh, and my recording bar is blocking a bunch of them. Shoot. Oh, that sucks. I don't suppose I can do this without turning those ones. Probably not. Evidently not. I wish I could see what that was. I will have this magically fixed in a second. Okay, I've left the last bolt here. There we go.
More pipes to connect.
That's okay. I actually like the pipe puzzles. I think they're pretty straightforward. They're not really that difficult.
Here we go.
There we go. That took a matter of seconds, less than 20 seconds. So. Okay. I guess I should make note of the square and the duck. In here, shouldn't I? Oh, there's the duck. Wrote square first, huh? See, duck equals 1. Square is 4. Right over here. Is there anything I need to do in here? Well, I'll talk with John, I suppose.
What's up?
I found Lori safe and sound in the caboose, so I guess those vibes you got about her being in serious trouble were wrong.
Strange. My vibes are never wrong. What's even stranger is I'm still getting them. So maybe they're not about Lori. Maybe they're about you.
I could be really horrible and say that. Nah.
Me? I'm not in any trouble.
Trust me. Either you or Lori is, or soon will be, in big trouble.
He's really not reassuring.
No offense, but I don't believe you.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
I'll let you get back to work.
Pleasure talking to you.
It's a pleasure talking to me, even though I disagreed with everything he said and flat out said so. There we go.
What is that?
That would be really spooky to see that. Let's go talk to John about that.
What's up?
I saw a bunch of weird glowing lights outside the window of the sleeping car.
Really? Actually, I'm not surprised.
Charlena said Jake Hurley used to see them too, only he attributed them to his dead wife, Camille.
They're probably some form of piezoelectricity. See, my guess is quartz crystals in the ground are being compressed as the train passes over them, and the resultant voltage, called piezoelectricity, is manifesting itself as glowing lights, probably because of some quirk in the train's shape or in the composition of the metals used in its construction. It was custom built, remember?
So it's a natural phenomenon, not a ghostly one?
Take it from me. Old Mother Nature was capable of some pretty scary stuff.
And I appreciate that there actually is a scientific reason for that happening. Although I've kind of questioned what he calls scientific, but he doesn't refer to it as a psychic thing, so yeah.
I'll let you get back to work.
Goodbye.
Bye. Alright. So I'm gonna talk with some more people. No, I want to go this way. Because I have a gem. There we go. Still gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yes?
I found Lori. She's in the caboose. You were right. She disappeared because she wanted to see which of us would find her first.
And you won. Congratulations.
The others on the train, John Gray and that police detective, do you know them very well?
I don't know them at all. Needless to say, I don't watch television, so I've never even seen Mr. Gray before. Although I do know that his profession, if you can call it that, is rife with crackpots.
Yep.
As for Mr. Balducci, from what I've read, his success in solving those robberies was less a matter of talent and more a matter of being in the right place at precisely the right time.
Yes, that's the way it sounds.
Do you think he's a good investigator?
No. You and those two Boy Scouts you're with would make better detectives.
Thanks.
Is that all, dear?
Did you know that Lori wants to be a romance novelist?
Doesn't everyone?
No.
Have you discussed any of her ideas with her?
No. Could we please talk about something a little more pleasant?
I'll let you get back to your writing.
That would be nice.
Alright.
Nancy, what's with the Cheshire Cat grin?
You found Lori.
I did.
Yep, she's holed up in the caboose, and as a reward for finding her, she let me have this. It's a letter from Jake to his niece in which he leaves clues telling her how to find his mine. Only the clues are extremely obtuse.
You found Lori, you got the letter with all the clues. Guess you don't need us anymore.
Oh, Joe, quit pouting. Want any help?
Are you kidding? You bet I do.
Now you're talking.
Balducci wants me to share everything I find out about Jake Hurley with him.
I'll bet he does.
He just doesn't want you to show him up again.
Yeah, he wants you to do all the legwork so at the last minute, bam, he can swoop in and grab all the credit.
I wouldn't tell him a thing, Nance.
Unless it's to get lost.
Another good line. I really like Joe in this game. He's really funny.
It stands to reason that the only person other than Jake who had to have known the location of Jake's mine was the engineer on Jake's train.
Very true.
Not necessarily. Jake might not have told him the exact location. Maybe he just had him drop him off somewhere nearby.
Well, still, we'd be way ahead of the game if we knew where that drop-off point was.
Absolutely.
If the engineer had any surviving relatives, we may be in luck.
The guy died more than 100 years ago. How are we supposed to find out his name?
Maybe Charlena What's-Her-Face could tell us how to go about it.
Good idea, Frank. I'll ask her. I found a diagram for some kind of contraption that Jake designed, but to operate it, you need his pickaxe and some kind of lamp or lantern, which it looks like he gave to somebody named Buell.
Buell? Joe, show her!
Show her what?
That old picture we found!
Okay.
We found this on the bookshelf. See? Buell's Supplies and Pawn Shop. That's gotta be the same Buell Jake gave his axe and lantern to.
Yeah, 100 years ago. And the guy was a pawnbroker, Frank. The stuff's probably long gone.
Or maybe it's still somewhere in Copper Gorge.
Well, that's where we're headed, so let's just hope for the best.
Right.
See you in a bit.
You better.
Okay, I wonder, can I find that the thing for where Lori hid? I think it was in the trunk, like it's near the bookshelf or the...
An eagle. Where else have I seen an eagle?
Does that work as the hotspot? No. Is it the table? Oh! Oh! Here it is! Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this before.
So, Lori pushed that button, slid the shelves open further, squeezed through, and disappeared. Very clever.
Very cool indeed. Except, I mean, how did she get to the caboose without being seen? Minor plot hole. Okay. What do I need to do? I need to learn about the dance shoes. Chaussette Chatoyant. Oh, let's give my friends a call. See if they have the name yet.
Hello?
Me again. Just checking to see whether you were able to find out the name of those dancing shoes yet.
Your wish is our command, but hang on to your hat. The name is a real mouthful. The shoes were made by Chaussette Chatoyant, Chausssettees, Chatoyantes. That's French for shimmering socks. Apparently, if you were into dancing in the 1870s, that was the company to get your shoes from.
Chaussette Chatoyant. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for letting us help.
Tino Balducci definitely has a thing for Lori Gerard.
So there's some kind of mutual attraction thing going on between them?
Something's going on between them. I'm not really sure what.
Well, find out. I mean, that's a mystery worth pursuing. To heck with this Jake Hurley stuff. You'd give up the possibility of finding gold for gossip, Bess? For gossip this good? Oh, yeah.
Can't say I'm of the same mind.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so... of the dolls, so I've got Sadie Crawford, who was near Frank and Joe. She's missing her shoes. So, I'm just going through, you can't see it. I've written down Chaussette Chatoyant, and you break it into pairs of 2. And those are the initials for the dolls, which gives you the order to put them in that cupboard. So if I go over here, if I go Yawning Alice, there we go. There's YA. I mean, that one's pretty clear. Yawn. And then Edna the Terrible. Do I have an ET? Yes, I do. She cries. Okay. Awful Ursula, right? Awful Ursula is an AU. She's going to be the second doll. Red hair. Is it Thomasina O'Neill in here? Yeah, Thomasina O'Neill. She looks like she's kind of beat up. Thomasina O'Neill, there we go. My note, I'm just going to write as Ribbon because I don't know which one she is. And then Sickly Sarah over here, I do believe so. Sickly Sarah. Just write down eyes. Her eyes are different colors. And then here, Teddy Everhart, that's a TE. Male. There are only 2 male dolls. Oops, wrong way. This is for Eliza Sandberger. Yes, she's the last doll. Red ribbon. Okay. Oh, did I see the picture of the doll? I don't think I did. Right here. Camille with Hager Anderson and Chantilly Hildegard. She's got that skirt. I don't know how to describe it. These are my little cues. Like, that's the way her dress looks. And he's got suspenders. HA. Suspenders. Okay. I am missing. Does it not be Tina? I think that's her name. She's got the crack. I don't even have to look for that. Okay, I should be able to rearrange the dolls once I've done the dance steps. Oops, what did we do there? Okie dokie, artichoke. Whoa! I wonder if that's gonna happen now.
Somebody must have thrown the emergency brake.
The question is, did somebody throw the brake? Or something?
Joe.
Oh, Joe, now you sound like Lori.
Hey, I was the first one on the scene, and I saw no one.
Who was the next person on the scene?
John Gray. Then Balducci came bursting through one door while Frank and the engineer came through the other. Boy, was that guy ticked. He said the train could have derailed. He reset the brake, muttered a few choice words, then headed back to the engine just as you and Lori showed up.
Everybody was there except Charlena. I don't think she left her laptop the whole time.
Dedicated to her work.
Do you think she could have thrown the brake and snuck back to her laptop without your seeing her?
Not likely, but possible, I guess.
The question is, why? What did she or anybody else stand to gain by stopping the train?
Answer? Nothing. Which is why I think we should at least consider the possibility that something less human in nature may be at work here.
Ah, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
I'm going to see if Balducci's done dusting for fingerprints. Catch you later.
Okay. Well, now I'm gonna have to talk to everyone.
More questions?
Would you like to see the letter that Lori gave me as a reward for finding her?
The one in which Jake Hurley supposedly tells his niece how to find his lost mine? No, thank you. I happily leave it to you to try to solve the mystery of his disappearance. You can afford to look foolish, dear. I can't.
Thanks.
Do you have a theory as to who pulled the emergency brake?
Well, I know it wasn't me. I assume it wasn't you, and I highly doubt it was Lori. So that leaves those 2 friends of yours, Mr. Gray and Mr. Balducci.
What do you think their motive was?
I don't know about your friends, but perhaps those other 2 simply thought it would be fun. Boys will be boys.
Yeah, no, it's too sketchy for anyone to think that would be a fun thing to do.
How would I go about finding out the name of Jake's train engineer?
Alright.
If you're smart, you'd ask me. And because my work is going surprisingly well, during my next break, I'll log on to my archives at home and see what I can turn up.
Forgot to
That'd
ask
be
her
great.
about that.
Thank you.
Whoever invented the cellular modem, that's whom you should thank, dear.
Aren't you even going to try finding out what happened to Jake Hurley?
No time.
No time. The only reason I haven't insisted that Lori release me from all this silliness is there's always the possibility that what happened to him has the makings of a bestseller. Although I highly doubt it.
Very skeptical, and yet she's present.
Why are you so sure that Jake's story wouldn't make a
All
bestseller?
too common.
His story is an all too
Yep.
common one. A man wanders off into the desert in search of gold and never returns. Why? He either doesn't have enough food or water, or he encounters hostile natives.
I know this game too well. I know some of the dialogue before it comes up. Like I said, this is one of my favorite games.
But why was his train found out in the middle of nowhere with just the dead engineer on board?
That does make the story a little more interesting. My guess is the engineer got tired of waiting for Jake to return, took off in the train to get help, and died of a heart attack along the way, after which the train rolled to a stop in Blue Moon Canyon. Anyone experienced enough to single-handedly run a steam engine would have been quite a bit older than Jake.
What do you think happened to Camille?
She probably died of something mundane like pneumonia or even measles. Now, if it was wintertime when she died, and they were in the mountains, Jake no doubt kept her body on the train for months before he buried her, which is rather delicious in a morbid sort of way.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Emotionally, that'd be very difficult.
I'll touch bases with you later.
That would be nice.
Aw, cheers. Okay, we'll continue talking to everyone. And then continue with my actual tasks.
Sup?
So are you making any progress in here?
Oh yeah, not only am I getting some real unusual EMRs, that's electromagnetic readings, but take a look at this.
You've got something?
I set up a camera and took some time-lapse photos. Sometimes I was in the room, sometimes I wasn't, but somewhere along the line, I managed to get a shot of Camille.
Where? You don't mean that little blob, do you?
Yep, that's Camille.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're skeptical. That's cool. Just remember, the key word when it comes to ghostly phenomena is energy. That blob is the result of Camille's residual life force, spirit if you will, reacting with the chemicals in the photographic paper.
Couldn't it just be a flaw in the photographic paper?
Okay, it could be that too, but it's not. Trust me.
I'll let you get back to work.
Pleasure talking to you.
Oh, he tries. Tino. Share your find with me.
Glad you dropped in. Lori told me she'd given you a letter from Jake Hurley that says how to find his mine.
That's right. You can read it if you want.
Lori should have given that to me. I mean, I'm the trained professional around here. Let me take a look.
So jealous. Yeah.
I've seen enough. 2 words. Useless. Those are just the rantings of a guy who spent way too much of his life swirling mud around in pans under the hot sun. 5-star nut job.
You don't think there's anything helpful in there?
Nada.
He's so wrong.
Did you find any fingerprints on the emergency brake handle?
None that were any help, thanks to Casey Jones up there. I told the old geezer not to touch anything, but he went and got his big, fat, oily paw prints all over the place. If we didn't need him to drive the train, I'd charge him with obstruction of justice.
So you have no idea who threw the brake?
Whoa, I didn't say that. As a matter of fact, I found this. Probably fell out of the perp's pocket while he was yanking on the handle.
Looks like some kind of thermometer.
Yeah, like the kind a certain ghost hunter uses on that bogus show of his.
You think John Gray threw the brake? But why would he do that?
Because they're thinking about axing his show, that's why. I checked with this buddy of mine in L.A. Gray's got to come up with something real big real soon, or he's toast. And you can't get much bigger than a train with a spooky past that's prone to strange accidents, now can ya?
Have you confronted John with your suspicions?
All in due time. I always like to get my ducks in a row before I make an arrest.
But couldn't someone else have dropped that thermometer?
Like you.
Please. Who's the top cop here, huh? Who's the world-famous detective? You? I know what I'm doing, sweetheart. John Gray wanted publicity. That's exactly what I'm gonna give him.
It's actually because you want the publicity. Tino is setting this all up to get himself famous, or even more famous, to continue riding that high of success.
Thanks for your help.
Don't mention it.
Ugh. Don't care for him at all. Okay, I'm not gonna go back to John. I want to go back to what I was trying to do. Head to the caboose. I suppose I'll talk with Lori.
Yes?
Sure.
I hear that Tino and you used to be an item.
How did you know that?
Because Tino can't lie to save himself.
So it's true?
We went out a couple of times, yeah. As for why we stopped going out, you'd have to ask him.
Do you have any idea who threw the emergency brake?
I know exactly who did it.
Camille.
You do?
Well, who else could it be? Camille. None of us has any reason to stop the train but Camille. She doesn't want us to find Jake's mine, so she's going to do whatever she can to keep its location a secret.
Interesting.
Did you see something?
Well, no. But I'll tell you what. Your friend, that Jim Harley guy?
Not Jim, Joe Hardy.
Yeah, well, he thinks it's Camille, too. He just doesn't have the guts to say so.
I'll come back later.
As soon as you figure it out, let me know.
Okay, time to...
Darn, the name of the shoes is so faded I can't tell what it is. Maybe
Re-establish
Bess and
this.
George can help me figure out who made them.
We know, we've already done that. Okay. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Most of that I didn't even have to look at my drawing. Oh, poor doll. We won't get that.
Guess Camille liked to collect dolls.
Indeed. Skirt. Okay, that's what I wrote. Oh, she's already in the right spot. See her sort of frilly. It's not frilly, I don't know what to call it. That skirt. And then red hair because it is awful Ursula. It's you. There. Third is SS. Sickly Sarah. Multicolored eyes.
Mama!
Can't see her face from my recording bar. That's really annoying. Are her eyes different colors? Rats. I'm gonna say I think it's her. I'd be totally wrong. And no, it's not her. Okay, next is cries. Oh, was that? That was the crying.
Mama!
Okay, there we go. That works. After cries, we have male. Teddy Everhart, this one. Okay, and then we have Cindy Crawford, barefoot. 2 left feet. There we go. And then we have suspenders. Okay, who goes here? After suspenders is Thomasina O'Neill. Her, where she just looks, she's really ragged. And then we have Yawning Alice. And I know you're last. There we go. Give me some more slugs. And my gem. Alright. What else do I need to do? I've done everything in here. Do I have all of the slots? That's my question. So next I need a square. Needs to equal 1. No, pardon me, it needs to equal 4, and then the duck. It'll need to be 1. So I need to keep 3 last. So I need to use 4 coins to equal 4. Which I don't have memorized, but that's okay. -4. Oh, no, I only need 3. Oh, shoot. I only need 3 slots, not 4. Okay. I have to think about this again.
There! With any luck, I just opened the stove in the dining car.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Guess I will talk with John since it's En route.
Hey, glad you stopped in. You gotta listen to this.
What have you got?
I put this digital recorder in the corner where Camille showed up in that picture and turned it on so it would just keep recording. Now when you play it back at normal volume, all you hear is background noise. But when you turn the volume way up and run the signal through a filter or two, hear that?
I hear something. It kind of sounds like a woman singing.
Not just any woman.
Camille.
So be careful what you say in here. She's listening.
Are you by any chance missing a small digital thermometer?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. When I went through the box I'd packed them in, that one over there, I came up one short. I was hoping to set up at least 6 in here so I could check for cold spots. How did you know I was missing one?
Because Tino Balducci found it by the emergency brake handle when he was dusting it for fingerprints. And now he thinks you're the one who pulled it.
That's ridiculous. I didn't have any reason to pull the emergency brake.
I like that voice acting there. That was good.
Is it true that your show is in danger of being canceled?
Newsflash, my show was canceled.
Ouch.
Happened last night. But what nobody knows yet is that it's been picked up by a major TV network. Not only am I still on the air, but I'm sitting prettier than ever. Any other questions?
Were you in this room the whole time prior to that emergency brake thing?
Of course not. I made a couple of trips to my compartment in the sleeping car to get more equipment. But did I get an overpowering urge to pull the emergency brake while I was there? No.
Well, I'll catch you later.
Come back anytime.
All right. So now let's check out stuff. Actually, you can see it's been dusted. Voila.
James Thurston.
I hereby agree to pay James Thurston the sum of $9 a week, plus room and board, in return for his services as the engineer of my train. Jake Hurley, May 23, 1879. Alright, and this is what's going to move the game forward. We're going to move off of the train.
Nancy, you missed it.
Missed what?
Or
The argument of the century.
Joe, he's exaggerating.
Aw, come on. You heard them. They were ready to tear each other to shreds.
Who?
Charlena and Lori.
All we heard was the tail end of it, and unfortunately, we really couldn't make out what they were saying.
So you don't know what they were arguing about?
No.
But whatever it was, both of them were absolutely out of their minds, livid.
And it would probably be a good idea to find out why.
Let me look into it. I'll talk to you later, okay?
You know where to find us.
Okay, we'll be moving off the train soon. Forgot about this part.
More questions?
What were you and Lori arguing about
Also
earlier
makes me
today?
think of the trailer.
Lori and I? We weren't arguing. We were simply discussing a topic about which both of us are passionate, that's all.
Were you discussing her wanting to be a romance novelist?
Yes.
No. And even if we were, that's really none of your business. I know that sounds harsh, but really, Nancy, eavesdropping is so tacky.
Actually, it was Frank and Joe Hardy who overheard you. They said I should talk to you before they gave me all the gory details, but since you obviously don't want to tell me your side of the story, I'll just have to get the scoop from them.
No, you don't have to do that. A storyline that Lori submitted to me found its way into my last book, despite the fact that she never received compensation
Thievery.
for it. She's reading the book now, and when she got to that part, she freaked.
Yeah, I mean, that's plagiarism. Unacceptable behavior.
You stole one of her ideas?
She had no business sending me unsolicited material. But technically, yes. Now, legally, she can't prove anything, and I'm certainly not about to admit anything. And it's not as if she needs the money. But that's what we were arguing about. For what it's worth, I'm going to talk to this producer I know to see if he'll cast Lori in his next movie. It'll help ease my conscience, and who knows? She could wind up being a star. I mean, she is blonde.
Ouch. That's insulting.
I'll let you get back to your writing.
That would be nice.
I say it's insulting because it's saying that blonde people are more likely to be hired as actresses, and it's just, Anyways, moving on.
Hey, how's it going?
Let's do this one first.
Tino found one of John Gray's thermometers by the emergency brake handle and is getting ready to throw the book at him.
John Gray threw the emergency brake? Why would he do that?
That was my first question, which makes me wonder if maybe Tino's the one who's up to something.
I still say there's less to all this than meets the eye, if you get my drift.
Joe.
I get your drift, Joe. I have lived with your drift for years. I am saddled with your drift.
All right, all right.
Also one of my favorite lines in this game.
I think I know the name of Jake Hurley's engineer, James Thurston.
Great! What else do you know about him?
Well, nothing.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, finding out more about him will give us something to do. We'll look into it.
All right, this should move us forward.
See you soon.
If you need anything, just let us know.
What? What? Oh, do I have to talk to Lori? I'm gonna talk with Charlena first.
More questions?
Apparently not.
I'll touch bases with you later.
That would be nice.
I really thought that happened after talking with the Hardys. So much fun to be one of my favorite games and not remembering this detail. Okay. Maybe it doesn't matter if talking with Lori.
Yes?
We'll talk some more later.
Keep me posted.
Why are we not moving forward? What have I missed that I'm capable of doing right now?
What's going on?
How come you told me you and Lori never went out, and she told me you did?
Don't you ever stop asking questions?
Oh, no.
I'm a detective. You know how it is.
I dumped her, okay? I'm not proud of what I did. I'm not happy about what I did, but it's done. It's over. Now let's drop it.
If you didn't want to dump her, why did you?
You are incredibly irritating, you know that?
Yes.
I dumped her because people said going out with her would make me look bad. Said she was a joke, that no one took her seriously. Said if I started hanging with her, no one would take me seriously. So I stopped calling.
But you didn't stop caring.
No. Now take a powder. I don't feel like talking anymore.
What have I missed? Oh! No. Oh, I did a duck, not eagle. The pipes.
More questions?
I'll let you get back to your writing.
Let me know if you run across anything juicy.
Did I mess up because I didn't get to check with her about James Thurston before I revealed his name?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, I needed to do this.
Were you able to find anything out about Jake's engineer, that James Thurston guy?
Good news and bad news. The good news is he had a wife in Copper Gorge, so he may have had children.
The bad news is our internet service provider stopped providing before we could use our cell phones to find out anything
Should have been
else.
capitalized.
That's okay. We can do more checking when we get to Copper Gorge.
Now.
Right.
Now we can move forward. There we go. I knew it was after we talked to the Hardys. I just forgot I had to do that follow-up. Not quite as off the mark as I was thinking. Oh, right. I actually have to do something. Who? Well, let's start at the museum.
Hey there! Welcome to Buell's Old Time Taffy House. Come on over here. Welcome, stranger. Listen, you by any chance get here on that private train what's parked out yonder?
As a matter of fact, yes, I did.
There's a rumor going around that Charlena Purcell's on board. Is that true?
As a matter of fact, yes it is.
Hot dang if that don't beat all. I've read every single book that gal's ever written. Best writer whatever lived. Did she get off the train too?
I don't think so. She's pretty busy.
Charlena Purcell herself right here in Copper Gorge, breathing the same air as me. Hot dang! Well, welcome, little missy. Go on in and take a gander at what life was like during the heyday of Copper Gorge whilst you sample some of our delicious homemade saltwater taffy.
I love this character. Fatima is just a laugh, and her hot dang is just the greatest thing. I definitely started saying it a whole lot after I played this game for the first time, and pretty much after every other time I've played it. It becomes part of my vocabulary again.
So this is some kind of museum?
Why, it's the best kind of museum, sister. It's free. You can gape and gawk and ooh and ah to your heart's content. Least you can till I close up.
Where'd all this stuff come from?
Been in the family for years. For centuries, in fact. See, Buell was my great-great-uncle. This building used to be his general store. During the glory days back in the 1880s, he commenced a pawnbrokering. So the miners Copper Gorge was crawling with back then could raise some cash to pay for grub and tools and such. But pretty soon, the mining boom went bust. And there was Uncle Buell, stuck with a whole store full of junk. Only it wasn't junk to him. Debris from lost lives and broken dreams is what he called it. Couldn't bring himself to get rid of it. So, he passed it on to his kin. My great-granddaddy's the one who come up with the idea of turning the place into a tourist attraction.
And you make money by selling taffy?
Tourists just love taffy. Especially when you dangle a free sample in front of them to get them hooked. Of course, it ain't really free. Some taffy on a stick'll cost you 2 tokens. Which you can get by winning both those games over there.
But they're free to play, so in terms of cost, it's just time.
How much does it cost to play them?
Well, ain't you the little penny pincher? Fact of the matter is they're free. Unless you go messing with the artifacts I got in here. Do that and you'll be headfirst in the nearest snowdrift before you know what hit you.
Do you by any chance have any of Jake Hurley's things in here?
Jake who?
Hurley. He was a miner. I think he may have left a lamp and a pickaxe with your great-great-uncle.
Never heard of him. Of course, that don't mean his stuff's not here. Just means you're just gonna have to look around and see for yourself. But remember, Susie Q, don't touch.
Oh, fine.
Pleasure talking to you.
I'll bet it was.
All right. Taffy Kitchen, employees only.
This looks just like the insignia I saw on the train. I'll bet this was Jake's trunk.
Oh, yes. Oh. I'm not going to talk to Fatima just yet. Oh, this is the worst. Sometimes this takes many attempts. Let's just start with one. Let's see. Oh, not a strong start. Ooh, but a strong finish. Oh, I don't know if I've ever done that on my first try. Fantastic. Hello. Alright. And then the next one. This one is a bit tougher. I mean, you're just clicking a button. Oh, this is not very good. Not there yet. So good. Yes! Wow. This is a good playthrough. I never do these on the first try. Like I'm never successful on the first try. Excellent. Okay. Solid. Let's get
Looks
some
like
taffy.
To get some taffy on a stick, I'm going to need 2 different tokens.
Maybe. Start with this one. And then this one. Alright, let's talk.
You still here?
Yes, I am your customer. Be happy about it.
Do you know what's in that old trunk over there?
Why? You ain't been fooling with it, have you?
Oh, no, of course not. No, I just thought it might contain the lamp and pickaxe that I asked you about before.
Well, if it does, you can forget about him, 'cause it's locked. None of my kin have ever been able to figure out how to open it. Not even my cousin Alvin, and he went to junior college.
Oh, man.
Would it be okay if I tried to open it?
Well, now, I certainly ain't gonna let you break it open if that's what you're getting at.
Oh, no, I would never use force, believe me. But in order to try to get it open, I would have to, touch it.
Nope, sorry, not gonna happen, little missy. Unless...
Unless?
Tell you what, you get Charlene Purcell to come in here so's I can shake her hand, and I'll let you fiddle with that trunk till the cows come home.
You know what? I've got a better idea.
Now, what could be better than me coming face to face with the lady who writes the finest literature
Sounded
this
like
here country's ever seen?
Jane.
Well, that's just it. If you were to just meet her, you'd have nothing to show for it. Afterwards, she'd go her way and you go yours, and that would be it. But if you were to, say, get her autograph, well, then you'd have something to hang on the wall and brag about.
Okay, make it so's I can meet her and get her autograph.
Oh, but the thing is, she's on a deadline, and if you take her away from her writing, she may fall behind. And if she falls behind, her publisher may pull the plug. And if her publisher pulls the plug, it could ruin her career. Do you really want to risk ruining Charlene Purcell's career?
Good heavens, of course not. All right, you just get me Charlene's autograph, and you got a deal. Just make sure she uses my name. I want it real personal-like.
You bet. And your name is?
Fatima, with an F. None of that weirdo PH stuff.
Okay, Fatima. I'll be right back.
It's fantastic. Oh yeah, I was gonna say she sounds a bit like Jane Willoughby. There was just a moment there, and that's who she sounded like to me. It was rather unexpected. Okay, well with that, let's go get that autograph. Actually, I'm gonna go snoop here.
Yes?
You startled me. Do you work here?
I do. Are you looking for someone?
Yes, Camille Hurley. She died back in the 1800s.
Ah, Camille. Beautiful crypt, wonderful view, good drink. Whoever buried her must have loved her very much.
May I go inside it?
You may, but unfortunately you can't.
Why not?
I accidentally dropped the key down the grate that's in front of the crypt. If you can retrieve it, you can keep it. I'm having another one made. But if you do go into the crypt, just remember, you won't be alone.
Bad punctuation there.
Well, there's the key. I just need to find something that key will stick to.
And that is what Taffy was made for, people. Retrieving keys.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay. Here's a slug. Oh, there's so much to look at here.
This indentation looks familiar.
Of course it does. Okay. Copper is Cu, which means you need green, red, purple, yellow, orange, blue. I'm also going to need lead, which is Pb. So that'll be red, green, blue, orange, yellow, purple. Okay. Let's see, there it is. So turn that all the way around. Green, red, purple, yellow, orange, and blue. And then we'll look at these.
In the letter he wrote to his niece, Jake said she should go to Camille's grave and let Camille's goodness rub off on her. Rub as in rubbing, maybe?
But of course. So, okay. So, done that a little bit, so I'll have to come back here. But let's go do a few things on the train. Anyone here? I haven't gone far enough. No, didn't think so.
More questions?
I met a huge fan of yours in town who'd really, really like your autograph. An autographed picture would be even better.
Imagine that. Me having fans way out here in the boonies. Well, I'm sure I have a picture around here somewhere. But what I don't have is a pen. Usually I just ask my assistant for one.
I have a pencil here somewhere.
A pencil won't do, dear. It has to be ink. See if you can borrow a pen from somebody.
Okay. Almost ready to do that puzzle. Okay. If John's not here... Oh, he is.
What's up?
Well, I know he doesn't have one.
I really need a pen. Could I borrow one from you?
Sorry.
I won't keep you any longer.
Take care.
I was hoping I could play the piano. So that will have to wait. Right. I'll get my pen from him, but I have to play that game. This one, Leaping Lizards.
Ah, I can't stay mad at a fellow detective. What do you need?
Do you by any chance have a pen I could borrow?
Why, I'm surprised at you. Don't you know that every detective should carry a pen?
Actually, I carry a pencil.
Well, as it happens, I got lots of pens. Tell you what, if you can play that Leaping Lizards game I found over there and do better than I did when I played it, which shouldn't be that hard seeing as how smart you are, I'll give you a pen. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, the object of the game is to get rid of as many lizards as you can by jumping them with other lizards until you can't jump anymore. Last time I played, I wound up with just 5 lizards. If you can wind up with only 4, the pen's yours.
Alright, let's see how many attempts this takes. I want to get that one down. Do that, and then that, and then that. Get that. I want to get rid of that guy. Best way to do that. Ooh. I don't know. It's leaving me with a few more than I wanted.
You lost. Guess you're not so smart after all.
How rude.
Try again.
Well, sure.
Pretty much using the same strategy, which probably is not helpful, but whatever. What is the best way to go about this?
I did it! I won!
Talk about luck. Here's your pen.
Only 2 tries. That's not bad.
What else can I do for you?
You've been a big help.
Helping people is what I'm all about.
Okay. So much I'd like to do, but I can't. This part is very linear, sequential. I don't know which word you want to use. But I need folks to get off the train. I think I gotta do this part with the autograph first.
Have you found a pen so I can autograph that picture?
I got it from Tino. You can keep it. If you could have it say, to Fatima, that'd be great.
Good detail on her laptop keyboard, I just
There
noticed.
you go. Anything else?
I'll touch bases with you later.
Remember, if it's juicy, I want to know about it.
Yeah, we're not gonna worry about that.
Hey, Nancy,
Hey, my friends. I like seeing them walk into the space also.
There you are. We've been looking for you.
Yeah, you won't believe the lucky break we caught.
Lucky break? Hey, that was the result of good old-fashioned detective work.
It was the result of your insisting we stop for a cheeseburger.
Guys, what's going on?
Well, it turns out that a grandchild of Jake's engineer still lives around here.
What's more, he hangs out at the local diner. Comes in every day.
Apparently, he's pretty ancient.
And one of the best lines and one of the most beloved lines, which is a single word, will happen in response to Nancy's comment here.
Ah, and you found that out when you stopped there so Joe could get a hamburger.
Cheeseburger.
The thing is, the owner of the diner wouldn't agree to point the guy out unless one of us fills in for his short order cook.
He's got to go home and wait for the cable guy or something.
And since Joe here barely knows how to boil water, guess who got the job?
Way to go, Joe.
Hey, I can boil water. It's just that when it's got things floating in it, I get confused.
Speaking of confused, get this. Balducci convinced Lori that Jake's mine is somewhere right here in Copper Gorge, so he, Lori, and John Gray are hiking up the mountain out there even as we speak.
Like that bumblebrain's gonna find anything.
Sounds like now might be a good time to do some serious poking around on the train.
Good thought.
Hey, I better get going. Wish me luck.
I'll go with you. You can make me a cheeseburger.
Oh, a dynamic duo.
Got that autograph?
Got something better, an autographed picture.
Hot dang! She spelled my name right and everything. Go ahead, little missy. Have a go at that trunk. Whatever's inside it's all yours.
That's excellent.
Here we go.
I thought it was here we go. Anyways, close enough. What did I say? Lead. Red. Green. Blue. Orange. Yellow. And purple. I think that's the last time I have to do that.
Well, here's Jake's lamp. Another slug. Could come in handy.
Oh, it shall,
But
indeed.
where's his pickaxe?
Oh, Fatima.
Welcome back.
Have you by any chance ever come across a pickaxe that had the initials JH carved into it?
Why?
Because it used to belong to Jake Hurley, and I really, really need it. I thought it would be in that old trunk, but it wasn't.
You got that trunk open? Wait till I tell Cousin Alvin. He thinks he's so smart. As for that pickaxe, so happens I got it upstairs in my kitchen. Use it to open the coconuts Aunt Lucy sends me every year from Hawaii.
Do you think I could have it?
Why, no, you can't have it. How would I open them coconuts?
Hey, I could have just gotten you Charlena's autograph, but instead I got you an autographed picture, which is way better. You owe me.
Oh, okay. I'll let you have the pickaxe. After you do something for me.
Always something.
Sure.
I got a bunch of taffy over there what needs sorting. Just follow the directions that are posted by the machine. Them belts get moving pretty fast, so you gotta keep your wits about you. While you're doing that, I'll fetch that pickaxe.
You got a deal.
Alrighty. Sorting taffy. Always makes me hungry.
Wax paper for the taffy.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I took a piece of wax paper?
Guess I could let you have a piece.
I was gonna say, and for something else. That looks yummy. Alright. Don't want multicolored ones. I'm just not really paranoid. I might do the wrong thing. That's a bad. Blueberry. Apple. Reject. Strawberry. Banana. Reject. Looks tasty. Reject. Also still looks tasty. Another reject. They're just gonna keep coming. Ah, well, first grape. Banana. Mango. More mango. Banana. Strawberry. Strawberry. I really want taffy. Although not banana. Yeah. A lot of banana. did seem like there was a lot of variety.
Yes, indeedy.
Alright.
Got that taffy sorted?
No problem. That was easy.
You sneak any freebies while you were at it?
I was tempted. Yeah, let's go with that.
It was pretty tempting, but nope, I sure didn't.
Well, ain't you the goody two-shoes? Truth is, wouldn't have minded too much if you had, long as you fessed up to it. Here's the pickaxe.
Awesome.
Cracked the handle pretty bad on the last batch of coconuts. You sure you want it?
Positive.
There you go. Don't hurt yourself.
I won't. Thank you.
Coconuts, oh my god, like she just cracks me up. She's fantastic. Okay, I think it's time to go make some burgers. Yep.
Hello?
Hey, it's Frank. I'm in the kitchen of the diner playing short order cook.
Has that grandchild of Jake's engineer showed up yet?
Just came in with this lady who's even older than he is. And get this, he's a retired miner, so every time I finish an order and ring the pickup bell, he thinks it's the mine shaft elevator bell. And for some reason it makes him start telling his lady friend about his grandfather.
You mean you ring the bell and he starts talking about James Thurston?
Exactly. Of course, 5 seconds later, he's rambling on about something totally unrelated, but I just fill an order, ring the bell, and ding, he picks up right where he left off. That is, unless I fill the order wrong and the waitress chews me out. She's got a voice like a chainsaw. Very distracting.
Sounds like you better keep your ears open and your nose to the grindstone.
I am. Just wanted to keep you posted.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Alrighty. Volcano burger. Onions, jalapenos, hot mustard, bacon, cheese. I'm not gonna remember all that. Onions and jalapenos. Onions. Jalapenos. Spicy or hot mustard, bacon, and cheese. Hot mustard, bacon, and cheese.
So do you know what you want to order yet, Edna?
I'm still looking.
Did I tell you that my granddaddy was the engineer on a private train owned by one of the richest men that ever passed through Copper Gorge? Jake Hurley was his name. Yes, sir, my granddaddy was Jake's private engineer for more than 25 years. Told my daddy that men don't come any crazier than Jake Hurley, or any nicer. Treated my granddaddy real well, and told him stuff. Real important stuff. Stuff he made my granddaddy swear to never ever forget. Stuff that my granddaddy told my daddy, and that my daddy told me. Why don't you get the egg salad, Edna? Eggs are back to being good. Yes, sir, Jake Hurley told my granddaddy things he never told another living soul. Not even his wife. I tell you about her, Edna?
I don't think so.
Camille was her name. Camille Boulet. That's French, you know. Of course, she died so young that poor Jake didn't have time to tell her anything. According to my granddaddy, one summer day she had a dizzy spell and fell and hit her head. She didn't take well to the heat, see? And sometimes in the summer, when they were going through the desert, why, that train'd be just like an oven. Anyway, Granddad said she got right up afterwards and seemed okay. But a couple hours later, Jake found her in her room, dead as a doornail. Now, there's another expression that kind of makes you wonder. Dead as a doornail. How can something... The way my granddaddy died, that was kind of strange, too. I ever tell you how my granddaddy died?
No,
it's
I
plural,
don't think
folks. You
you
got it right
did.
earlier.
My daddy, he came home from school one day to find a railroad official telling his mom that Granddad been found dead in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada. He was in the engine of Jake Hurley's train, just kind of slumped over with his hand still on the throttle. The strange thing is, nobody else was on board the train, yet the door to the engine was locked and barred. It was like Granddad was trying to keep someone out, like he was running from something. Like something finally scared him so bad his heart just stopped. Of course, he was in his 60s at the time, and back then that was old. Doesn't seem so old now, does it, Edna? Here I am, pushing 9. I ever tell you about the mine my granddaddy said Jake Hurley'd found?
He found a mine?
A couple years before he died, Granddad told my daddy that Jake found a vein in the mountains somewhere and was mining it all by himself, so no one would steal it out from under him. He wouldn't even tell Granddad where the mine was. What he'd do is have Granddad drive the train real slow so he could jump off without Granddad seeing him. Then Granddad would pick him up at a prearranged spot a few days later. Oh, they didn't call him Crazy Jake Hurley for nothing. Speaking of crazy, but the craziest thing Jake Hurley ever did was tell Granddad the secret to finding his mine. He made him swear to tell it to my daddy and nobody else. Eventually, my daddy, He told me, and it was so bizarre that I remember it to this day, though I sure don't understand how it'd help anybody find his mine. But since my daddy didn't tell me not to tell anybody, this is what Crazy Jake Hurley told Granddad, word for word. The eye of the tiger is fixed on a star. Zircon lies in fingers that scar. Amethyst floats in a hand from the deep. Citrine is what the foul mouth shall keep. Tourmaline by a soft arm is ensnared. Peridot rests at the foot of the mare.
The eye of the tiger is fixed on a star. Zircon lies in fingers that scar. Amethyst floats in a hand from the deep. Citrine is what the foul mouth shall keep. Tourmaline by a soft arm is ensnared. Peridot rests at the foot of the mare?
Frank, are you sure that's what he said?
I'm positive.
Are you sure that's all he said?
Look, this guy was old, okay? I mean, we're talking Jurassic. And guys that old don't joke around. They don't have time to. What you just heard is what I heard, word for word.
Got anything else?
I almost forgot. You gotta check this out.
It's just an old letter, Frank.
You bet it's an old letter. From Samuel Clemens.
Oh my gosh, where'd you get this?
I found it in the caboose.
Apparently he and Jake were pen pals.
Wish I had a famous writer for a pen pal.
No kidding.
When Joe gave it to me, I about flipped. I know I should turn it over to Lori, and I will, but it's just so darn cool.
I still don't see what the big deal is. I mean, it's not like it's from Mark Twain or anything. What?
Frank's face. As a kid, I didn't understand this joke, and if you guys don't, Samuel Clemens was Mark Twain. Mark Twain was his pseudonym. So, same person.
See you in a bit.
You better.
So Joe's joke doesn't work because he was Mark Twain. Okay, I want to play the piano and get that gem. 2 tasks I'd like to do while no one's around. Okay.
If I had some music, I could play a tune.
I know. This one? Yay, nay? Oh, fantastic. I can't read what these say. That's okay. I can read music. I used to be able to read music. That's gotta be an F. Okay, anyways. C, D, E, F, G, G, E, G, A, G, E, E, D, F, E, D, C. Excellent. Good.
A spyglass. I'll bet it's the one I need for Jake's projector.
You would be right, Nancy. Spot on. I need to get that last gemstone. I think this is the last one. I don't think I've missed any. Of course, do I remember what any of the gems look like? No. Which, oh, right, it's in this car. I was thinking it was in John's car. Okay, yes, I know what amethyst looks like. Citrine and tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is kind of brown. Citrine is quite yellow. I had the yellow ones mixed up. Zircon, one of them? Yes, it is. Yeah, Zircon and Citrine. I get confused. Tourmaline is like a watermelon. Emerald is one of them, right? Is it? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Peridot. Peridot, that's what it is. That must be Zircon. Really yellow one. I'm missing... Oh, right, Eye of the Tiger. I figured that out already. Ah. Hitting all the wrong things. It's fine. Okay. So, let's get this sucker started. Need you.
Okay, looks like that goes there.
And the carbide. Hello. Spyglass.
There, it should work now.
gems yet. Or will I? No, I'm going to do this first. Because there's that.
Oh no! What I need is some duct tape. I need to fix the handle.
Alright, I can't take it out. Okay. So now, Joan is back. There he be.
What's up?
I hear Tino took you and Lori for a little hike today.
Don't remind me. Turns out Tino had no idea where he was going. Good thing for him, my fingers were frozen stiff. Otherwise, I would have strangled him.
Would you by any chance have any duct tape?
Got some right there in my gearbox. That's the good news. The bad news is, I can't open the box. It's an antique lockbox that I found in this abandoned monastery I scoped out on my show last year. You can open it with either the key, which I just discovered I forgot to bring with me, or the combination, which you're supposed to be able to figure out just by looking at the box. Fortunately, I didn't put anything critical in there. I've never tried to open it without the key, but if you want that duct tape, go ahead and give it a shot.
I do kind of like that Nancy can say no and see if someone else has it. Like, she does go around asking about different things, like, or multiple things, like pens. She was able to talk to a few people about that. She could have turned down Tino's offer. You still have to get the pen from Tino, and same with this. I think you still have to get, I know you still have to get the duct tape from John. But I like that the option's there to try and get it from someone else.
Thanks, I think I will.
If you get it open, the duct tape's all yours.
Pretty
I
unique
bet
to
the
this
animals should start from the left shore.
Yes, indeed. All right. Again, I can't see what's here. I am assuming that's a bird with him left off. So I know I need to take the cat over. Cat. Drop the cat. Go over. Take the wolf. There's the wolf and the bird. No, it's the wolf and the cat. What did I just do? I've gotten myself confused. You start there, you go there. No. You go there, you go there, you go there. You take the wolf, you take the cat back and swap it for the bird. Up. Bird. Assuming that's a bird. And then that. Nope, it would really help if I could see what that was. What did I do wrong? I definitely start with that. So I can either take the cat. Well, yeah, you have to start with that. Drop off the cat. Then you've got back to this shore. Take the wolf. Maybe that's a cat and I just couldn't tell. That would make more sense. Do that, do that, do that, do that. There we go. Okay. Oops, wrong direction. That's all good. Let's fix the duct tape. Fix the duct tape. Use the duct tape to fix the pickaxe.
Good as new. Oh, sorta.
And then... Okay, star is Eye of the Tiger, which is that one there. Cloth. I think this one is zircon. Yeah, zircon. I think is this one. And then hand from deep is amethyst. Mouth, foul mouth, citrine would be you. A soft arm is tourmaline. That one's tourmaline. I had to think about that for a moment. Which means foot of the mare is peridot. Yes.
Whoa! Looks like I did something
Yes.
right.
Yes, I did. All right. I still have more pipes. I need the eagle. And I need the ones from the sleeping car. Okay, eagle on here is 2. Just making a note of that. Okay, I'm gonna look at the rubbings next. Oh, I don't have to backtrack. Hopefully I don't have to backtrack. Really ominous music. Okay, let's just start in this corner. My pencil that I already had. Oh, this one. Halfway. Last one. It's right here. What is it? Is it hope? No, charity.
Wisdom, charity, purity, eternity.
I guess there's a little bit of backtracking I'm gonna have to do. I need to get the numbers associated with these. No, it's not that far. So in our little sample book here, let's see. Purity is the harp. Eternity is a crown. Charity is a dove. And what's my last one? Oh, fantastic. I don't remember. Wisdom. Where's wisdom? Oh, there it is. Wisdom for an owl. So then we go here and translate it. So the harp is a 3. A crown is a 6. And then a dove is a 9. And then our owl, which we've seen before, is 7. All right. Okay, a little bit of backtracking, not much, which is nice. Okay. Oh shoot, I have to look at these. What order do they go in? Okay. So I need 7. That's 9. I think I wrote down 9. 6 and then 3. There we go.
More pipes. Why am I not surprised?
All right. Question is, what order? Oh, shoot. Yeah, what order? Yeah, I think that's right.
That should do it.
Great. Okay, and then just have to do one more set behind the eagle painting or photograph, which I need to unlock. This is the trickiest of them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, 6 slugs has to equal 2. I have 7 slugs. Well, I usually just fiddle and see what I can do. No, that's not. That's no good. There we go. Haha. Fantastic. That didn't take as many tries as I thought it might. Again, this is a pretty good playthrough. I'm actually doing things fairly efficiently. It's rather surprising. Okay, so.
And naturally, we have still more pipes.
The last set on there. Oh, right. Oh, this is wrong.
There, that looks right.
All right. So now all the pipes are connected. Go over here.
Sounds like steam from the engine is moving through those pipes now.
And now, do the really fun thing where the map, it's going to reveal on the map where we actually need to go, which is super exciting in my humble opinion. Very excited about this. Alright. Green, 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 and green. We have liftoff.
And we have liftoff.
Yeah, she says that. I did not remember that. I have chills. It doesn't matter how many times I play this game. I just think this is so cool.
That's where Jake's mine is. Brimstone Canyon.
Don't you look all excited. What's up?
I think I know where Jake's mine is. Tell the engineer to head for a place in Nevada called Brimstone Canyon.
Way to go! I knew you could do it, Francie.
Not Francie, Nancy.
Here's the deal. When we get there, I'm going to make sure that you get to be the first one to check out the mine. I'll call everyone together in the dining car, and while we're in there, you slip off the train. Will 10 minutes be enough of a head start?
You don't have to give me a head start.
Think of it as your reward. Of course, anything you find in the mine is, well, mine. So if I find out that you've taken something without telling me, let's just say things could get ugly.
Don't worry, you can trust me.
I have the feeling that thanks to you, we are about to discover something huge. Great job, Amy.
Thank you.
Okay, we're kind of in the home stretch. This is the final stop for searching for the mine. Oh, yes. In Nevada.
Sounds like the train's leaving. Where's it going?
That would freak me out.
Frank and Joe will make sure it comes back for me. I hope.
Alright, one of my least favorite things coming up because there is no rhyme or reason to this, like getting into the caboose. Although that really wasn't so bad. That really wasn't bad at all. Fire in the hole! Back away, Nancy. I feel like you're too close. Whoa! Jeez, you get hit by one of those flying boulders. Yeah. Alright.
Oh, right. This is the entrance to Jake's mine. Whoa, what's going on here? Jake's color wheel seems to be pointing toward purple. Wow, glowing lizards. Cool. But weird.
What's the order of this?
Wonder what that's doing there.
So I'll write this down. So, fish. We get this symbol. Okay. It wants me to follow red, so I'm going to follow blue just to see if there's anything.
I can't get through here.
So here are the bats, though. Okay, red. So now it wants me to go through yellow. Let's go through blue first.
Whoa!
Let's go through purple. Oh, that just took me back to the entrance. Never mind. Okay, here we go. This is what I was trying to find.
Jake must have made those symbols. The question is, why?
So we need cactus, fire. I think that's a snake. Wait. Erase my notes here. Apparently I wrote my Secret of the Scarlet Hand notes on this page, and they're in the way. Fish and bat. Okay, so the fire, we've got
another symbol.
This. So fire is that Mahuzit. Alright. Let's go through yellow next. There's our weight. Yeah, let's go down here. 3 of 6 symbols. Here's our snake. Snake is the rocking horse, as I always think of it. Drew that really terribly. That's fine. Okay, once we go through orange next, then red. So let's take a look down purple here, or blue. No, can't. Let's go back through red. Yellow, then green, What would we call this area?
There's some kind of chamber on the other side of those poles. But if I move the wrong one, the ceiling will collapse. Jake was too meticulous not to have left a clue somewhere as to how you're supposed to move them.
This is a symbol, but for what? I didn't see the cactus. Ugh, it bothers me that I missed some. Okay. Ah, there it is, cactus. Okay. I hear bats. I can see them. Oh, that's all right. Well, we'll see if I can figure this out. I've missed one.
I've seen that symbol before. Okay, so far so good.
And then the fire was that one. And the snake was the one that looks like a rocking horse. And then the weight is that one. And then the fish. I have a feeling this is...
I should be able to get through there now.
Hallelujah.
Jake Hurley,
That
I
would be
presume?
really, really unsettling to find.
Camille. It figures he'd be carrying a picture of her. There's something underneath it. Looks like a letter. April 14th, 1865. Your humble friend, Abe.
This is the end, folks.
Oh my
Coming
gosh.
to conclusion.
This is from Abraham Lincoln. And April 14th is the day he was assassinated. This letter must be worth a fortune.
That's just what I thought, too. See, what I didn't tell you when I gave you that letter Jake wrote to Ruth is that I also found his diary, which is how I found out he'd gotten to be friends with President Lincoln, and that he'd gotten a letter from Abe that he knew would be so valuable someday that he always kept it on his person. Can I have it?
Sure.
See, I knew if we could just find Jake's body, we'd find the letter. And you did it, Amy. You did it. I'm going to be famous. Good famous for once.
So you think.
So you never really cared about finding Jake's mine?
Nah. I mean, it would have been nice if it was filled with gold and silver and stuff, but this is what I was really after.
And you followed me because you didn't trust me?
I trusted you to find it. I just didn't trust you to give it to me. And now that you have, you know, I'd really, really be famous if I could say I found this all by myself. But even if I got you to lie for me, how do I know you'd keep lying?
I really like her face right there.
Oh my gosh. What if there was like this cave-in and we were trapped, but I was the only one who made it out?
Oh man.
Excuse me?
Oh my gosh! That way I could not only say that I found the letter, but that I tried to save you. Only you did something stupid, and it was all I could do to save myself. Oh my gosh! I'd make the national news for sure, and people would say I was smart and resourceful and courageous even.
Lori, you can't be serious. That's crazy.
You don't understand. People are finally going to respect me. I have to do this. Sorry.
Lori!
Oh man.
The opening's blocked. I'm trapped. Now how am I going to get out of here?
Just horrible behavior by
Maybe I
Laurie.
could get out of here in this.
Much like Tino. Alright. To be attentive to the signs. I was really worried this recording part was going to get in the way. Where's my next skull? Let's go this way, please. I always click it like 3 times just to make sure. Continue to go to the right. That's where it's safe. Let's go to the left for the first time. It's really steep. I have a hard time imagining there'd be enough inertia or momentum to go up like that. But I'm not a physicist. I could be completely wrong. It might be completely doable, realistic. Don't think so. This is the end. Over the wall. Screen. And this whole part. Just the animation is great.
Laurie, are you all right?
Nancy! Is everything okay?
It is now.
As soon as we discovered you and Laurie weren't on the train, we jumped off and hightailed it back here.
What the heck's going on?
I'm sure Laurie will be glad to tell you all about it.
Darn you, Natalie!
It's Nancy. Dear Hannah, some hostess Laurie Gerard turned out to be. When her father heard that she'd tried to seal me up in that mine, he canceled all her credit cards and said that from now on, Laurie'll have to support herself.
She should be punished
She has
further
yet
than
to stop
that,
crying.
honestly.
Tino Balducci told reporters that he knew what Laurie was up to all along.
Liar.
And said he let Frank, Joe, and me solve the case so we amateurs could enjoy his limelight.
Double liar.
Joe was just about to belt him when a big argument broke out between John Gray and Charlena over whether John had really recorded Camille's ghost. She started calling him a crackpot, and then he started calling her a hack. Then, well, let's just say that soon the press was no longer interested in what Tino had to say. As for Jake Hurley, it turns out that his letter from Abe Lincoln is worth a small fortune. Pretty ironic, huh? Jake spent his whole life searching for gold, when all along he possessed something far more valuable. His uncanny knack for making friends. Love, Nancy.
It's pretty special. Lots of people struggle with making friends. All right. Hey, sassy detective, congratulations on cracking the case. You've been awarded the title of... Is there anything relating to Puzzle Master? Oh. The Iron Horse Chef Award for sandwich making creativity. I don't know if I've ever had that before. It doesn't feel right. Trailer time for one of my least favorite games. Oh.
Have you ever been to Paris, France?
No.
Well, preparez-vous, because that's where my next mystery adventure takes place. I'm going to be the assistant to Minette, a famous fashion designer. I'll be working undercover to find out why she's been acting so peculiar lately, throwing tantrums, firing people. She's even started wearing a mask for no apparent reason. Her studio is in this spooky-looking centuries-old moulin. That's French for windmill. Of course, that doesn't have anything to do with her strange behavior. Or does it? Only one way to find out. Help me solve my next case. Danger by design. À la prochaine.
All right, there we go. That is Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. Such a fun game. I really like the storyline. I really like that you've got a group of people who are all trying to solve this mystery, either together or as individuals, and different backgrounds, which makes it really interesting. And I like the variety of those characters as well. The different backgrounds makes it really interesting. I really enjoy the voice acting of the characters. I think it's great for all of them. And the animation in this one, as I noted, has really stood out. I really like that end sequence where we've got Laurie sitting in the muck. We get to see her, flinging mud off her hands. I think that's great. The entrance of Frank and Joe into the Copper Gorge Museum. The mechanical contraption in the train. I also think that whole sequence is really neat. There's a lot of really fun things in this game that really stood out at the time that the game was released and continue to have, I guess, a nostalgic impact of just how cool and creative they were at the time when I replayed the game. I really like it. The music is fine. I do find it's fairly subtle, but that works actually really well with the game. It's not overpowering. It's really suitable, I guess. In some ways, I wouldn't mind if it was a little more present, it was a bit louder, but I don't hate it the way it is. But yeah, it's such a fun game. I really like that you're stuck on this train for most of the journey, and then it changes. Then you're in Copper Gorge, so you get to be somewhere else for a little while, but you can still go back onto the train, and then you end at the mine, which is really neat. And I like the story about Jake's ability to make friends and all these letters he has as correspondence with these really well-known individuals from history, and that's a pretty special thing. As I mentioned a moment ago, for some people it's really difficult to make friends, and he had this knack for it, which is really quite sweet and precious. I don't really know what else to say about this game. I feel like there should be so much. I really like it. I just think it's fun. It's underrated. It's always really stood out to me. I quite enjoy it, so I was really happy to be able to play it today. And you know, it's not a terribly long game, so that's kind of nice too. And there are a bunch of different things, different or extra, not different, but these extra details. For instance, being able to go to different people to ask for a pen or duct tape. I like these choices. Nancy is very talkative about what she can and can't open. She's making it clear to you as the player. I enjoyed talking with Fatima. She's hysterical. Just a lot of fun. A really, really pleasant and enjoyable game. It's one of the ones I like to replay a lot, and was great for today on a great snowy day when I'm mostly stuck inside. So this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching. Probably soon I'll have the book to game comparison up. Like I said, I started reading that book today, so I'll probably read it steadily throughout the week. My work week is just about to start, so I don't know how much time I'll have. So it might be by next weekend, perhaps the weekend after that I get that uploaded. Alright, thanks again everyone for taking the time to watch my playthrough of Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. Thanks again everyone. Have a stupendous day. Bye bye.